Alrighty, so I don't do reviews very often, and maybe I should because those are my best viewed videos. But I managed to get my hands on a pack of Irojiten, I think I pronounced it correctly, from Tombow. And Tombow is a known marker brand, and well, I was actually interested in these pencils. These are secondhand. The person who sold them to me said that they were new, and I can totally 100% believe that she actually swatched them and then put them in a cupboard, because from chatting with her, this person was just about as much of a coloring fan as I am. So she probably had pencils that she used more often. This is a limited set. There are a total of 9 volumes. And this is a set of 3. They come in packages like this. So you have like 10 pencils per volume. And then in this box you have volume 7 fluorescence, volume 8 very pale tone, and volume 9 dull tone. Now, what I have done to prepare this, to be fair, I just started swatching already, and then I figured, you know what, I might as well just actually film this, and in a moment, I think my dogs are going to come home again, because they're walking at the moment. My husband took them walking. But I started swatching, so I figured I could actually just video this for you guys. I swatched the first 6 fluorescent, so I actually have volume 7, 8, and 9 below each other, or above each other here. So one thing, when you get new pencils, generally what you want to do is you actually want to sharpen them. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually sharpen them. And then as I'm coloring, I'm going to give you my my experience. I now have the F7, which is actually called Lightning Yellow. Interesting. Blitzgelb. Okay. And then there's some stuff in Japanese here, which I have no clue how that is pronounced or what it says. Probably says lightning yellow. So there we go. So I always try to swatch on the same paper, so I have most of my pencils swatched on this paper. This is a fairly simple 160 grams paper. I always put down a first layer, and then as you can see here, then I try to put in more layers. This is a pencil that takes a bit of work, and because they're fluorescent, oh, this one is crumbly. Okay, I have not noticed that with the first 6, but this one is crumbly. Maybe it's because I sharpened the point. They seem to have quite a bit of pigment. Oh, the colors are there as well. There you go. They're here. F8. I'm actually using a Dahle 133 pencil sharpener, which is my favorite. I'm not sharpening to a super sharp point, though I guess you could say this is pretty sharp. They glide over the paper, which is pleasant, but they also don't seem to have a very high pigment. But like I said, I've so far not seen... This one is also a bit crumbly. Fluorescent pencils that actually have a high pigmentation. So to be fair, the sharpening doesn't make much of a difference, because I hadn't sharpened the other ones and they didn't color much differently. So these are pretty colors though. You can get some really, really nice effects with fluorescent pencils in your drawings. Actually, if you use fluorescent pencils in together with your other pencils, can actually get really, really nice pencil colors. I know Olivier S. Odoron, Coloring with Olivier. She uses, I don't even know what her name is, but I'm subscribed to her Patreon, and she's had some Patreon videos where she actually uses fluorescent in her drawings, and she uses them to pull the other colors up. And in her case, she generally uses the Prismacolors, which I think is a smart choice because, well, they have a lot of pigment in there. These aren't bad, actually. Let me see if I can find a different type of pencil to compare it alongside with. Let's see. Because I actually have a set of Holbeins. And so I could, if I could find, there we go. This is my swatch sheet from the Holbeins. So I could actually put them next to each other. And this, for example, is very similar. This Lum Green from Holbein with the F10 from Irojiten. So that's actually not too bad of a comparison. Let's see. Luminous Opera. The Holbeins do have a lot more pigment. They are, you can lay them down a lot thicker, but these are not too bad. It's a bit of a shame that they're quite pricey. I got it secondhand, like I said. But if you get a set like this in the store, I think it's 50 euros for 30 pencils. And while that's not expensive if you're called Caran d'Ache, it is somewhat expensive if you're called Irojiten Tombow, because you're just not the top pencil brand. And I understand. Damn, I got the right color, VP1. This VP1 stands for very pale. So I've got the pastels here. Which of course means well, funny part, this also means I can compare those to the Holbeins. Holbein is one of my favorite. I'm just going to pull all of them out and then I'm going to stick them back in. There we go. VP2. Almond Blossom. I do think these are really, really pretty pencils. Really, really pretty. They're nice to hold as well. It feels like I'm holding size-wise thinner than Derwent's, because the Derwent pencils, they are rather thick. It feels like similar in size to a Polychromos in my hand. Wow. Not bad. VP3 Ecru. So I was gonna actually do some coloring here, or oh, okay, ready. Well, it doesn't matter for swatching too much. I'll just finish my swatch. But they get a bit crumbly once you sharpen them to a point, which is not good. That's not what I would expect. Now we got VP4. What I was going to do is I was going to actually finish this off camera, and then we'll pick it back up, and then I'll actually review the result. And then afterwards I was going to color a picture with it. Ooh, that is nice though. Okay, do you know those colors where you think like, okay, this I could make work. This is a, what's it called? Eggshell. Oh, well, we've got that color in a lot of sets. But it's a really nice, barely off-white color. And it's one of those colors that you can use for paper and for that sort of stuff. I can't have button points. Let's resharpen VP3. this is one of those things. When you get pencils secondhand, it's always a question, have they dropped them? Or is it really the pencil that is just crumbly? Looking how this was packaged and how, talking to the person that I got them from, I think this is the pencil. Because she came across as someone who would take care of their pencils, actually. And one of my next videos, I will actually show you the books that I got from her. This one I got from her, and I got a couple of other books from her as well. And she colored some pages in there. And I already told her, like, I don't mind. I buy books, used books, more often. And I know that there's people who absolutely hate having used books. And for me personally, it's a way of getting the books a bit cheaper. And a half-colored page, I'll just finish it off. There's no issue for me there. I'll just color over it. I'll use gesso if need be. You know, half-colored pages are fine. So, but anyways, I'm going to finish these. And then I'm going to come back to you. So I'm going to see you soon. Alright, I have finished swatching them. And it feels like only at the bottom line have I actually been able to properly compare. Properly feel what these colors can do. Because to be honest, these with pastels, well, yeah, it's logical that there's less pigment in there. Fluorescent, well, even in the Holbeins, the fluorescents aren't doing super well. And even in the Prismacolors, the Holbein, the fluorescents are somewhat different. And I can tell you, let me show you some comparisons. These are the Prismacolors. Now, as you can see, Prismacolor just simply has, let me find similar color. Okay, let's see. Oop, I can't really compare that one to that one. That's similar color. As you can see, the Prismacolor simply has way more pigment in there. I also had to work a lot harder for these to actually get on the paper. Comparing to the Starjoy Gold, which is like a budget pencil set, which is 40 euros for the whole 120, whereas Tombow has 40 euros for 30. You see a similar color. Let's see if I can find similar colors. This is a similar color. I have to say the Starjoy Gold have a more pleasant laydown than the Bow Irojiten. This is not... It's beautifully packaged. It's a gorgeous pencil. And if you're a pencil collector, then, well, you definitely need to have these like I did. And I think, you know, if you have like 3 of them, like all of the volumes next to each other in the cupboard, yeah, it's going to be really, really pretty. But if you want to invest in a pencil, I would say invest in that one or in the Brutfuner Squares or something, because personally I think that's a really, really good pencil as well, especially for the price. But I would... Yeah, this is a good pencil. It's just not as pigmented as other pencils. You have to work harder for this pencil. So as a starter, go with a different one. As a collector, yeah, these cannot miss in your collection. If you like my review, please make sure to click the subscribe button and the little bell so that you can get notifications when I post a new video. I'll leave a link where you can get these. I'll try to find a link where you can get these in the description of the video, and otherwise in my blog, Kleukartien, colormeditations.com. Soon to have a real color meditation on there. You can find it back. But I'm not wowed by these pencils, but they're also, to me, they're middle class, except they're too expensive to be middle class. So if you're starting out, go with a different pencil. That's my advice. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.